So let's get into, first of all, like the breakdown of the name Minas Tirith. So I don't really expect much from you, but do you know what the city of Minas Tirith means?
I've become accustomed to that. People not expecting much from me. Sorry, I wasn't listening to the question.
The actual name.
Don't expect me to listen to your questions.
Don't expect you to answer or listen to the questions. The name Minas Tirith. Do you know actually what it means?
Oof.
In Lord of the Rings language.
I know. I mean, I remember reading, but like, my brain doesn't really retain that information. It's like, I don't know. I know like the Amun Sul and those type of things are like tower. I can't remember what Minas means. It's probably like stronghold or something.
Yeah, well,
but
Minas means tower as well. So I'm trying to remember. Amun Hen, Amun Sul. They also mean tower. Doesn't Ammon mean tower as well? Yeah, I think you're right there.
That's what I thought. Yeah. But as soon as you asked me Minas Tirith, I just had the word tower come to my brain. But I thought, oh no, that must be Ammon. So I don't know. So
could be another language.
Maybe there's two words for tower.
Maybe one's Quenya and the other
could be like
or something. I don't know. I didn't deep dive that much, but Minas means tower.
God damn it, Dave. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
No, but there's so many things in this where it's like, okay, that person's name means this, and I could look up what their father's name means because that also relates to this. But I was like, oh God, come on.
Are you telling me you didn't learn Elvish for this podcast?
I mean, like the people don't care.
The one thing I asked you to do, Dave, just this week, just learn Syndrome.
Yeah, just get your A's to
not even Quenya, just Syndrome.
All right, fair enough. I'm sorry. I'll do it for the next time. But anyways, Minas is tower and Tirith is guard. So like literal translating tower guard.
Yeah.
So tower of guard or guarded city. I think Minas also kind of means city as well.
Like towered city, like tiered city or something.
Yeah, tiered city. I like that. But originally Minas Tirith was called Minas Arnor, meaning Tower of the Sun or the Sun City. So also the Rohirrim, which is kind of separate, they call Minas Tirith the Mundberg, which is another weird name, but in their Rohirric language, that literally translates to Guardian Fortress. So there's all sorts of little names for this same city. It's also referred to as the City of Kings, which is interesting because it wasn't first of all, it wasn't always renowned as a city, and it isn't where the kings used to be. Now we know that the kings were buried there, like in the back area of Minas Tirith. That's where all the kings were buried, but it was never the capital. It wasn't the capital for most of its existence, and the kings were never there. It's only in the Third Age that we see, the throne room there and the citadel and all that. But so I'm not really sure, was it referred to as the City of Kings? There's so many different reasons why it could have been referred to that, but like I don't know how long it had been referred to as the City of Kings. But I don't know, it's a very kingly looking city, fortress.
Sure is.
So that's another thing. It's like the City of Kings, it's not a city, it doesn't have kings. So anyways, potato tomato.
It's a terrible name. What did you say was the name that the Rohirrim gave it? It was like a very German sounding
word. The Mundberg.
Yeah, that sounds German. Are the Rohirrim, I'm trying to remember, do they have any sort of like a German origin kind of a thing?
I know Rohirric is based on Anglo-Saxon, so I think that's where Mundberg comes from there as well. Yeah. I don't know what it means. Mund.
Because we did an episode on like where Tolkien got his inspirations and his ideas from before, and I was trying to rack my brain there saying, like, were the Germans involved? They're usually involved, those sneaky Germans.
Those Germans, yeah. Are Anglo-Saxons, that's kind of Germanish.
It's Germanic, Germany, Germanish.
Yeah, Germanish. Anyways,
who's Germanish?
German.
Oh, German that lives down the road.
German. Yeah. So getting on to the actual history of the city itself, or the fortress. I keep referring it to a city, but it is a city. It becomes a city. The fortress was built to guard the capital city of Osgiliath in the year 3320 in the Second Age by the Dunedain of Gondor. Basically, the Númenóreans who escaped the destruction of Númenor the year prior. It was at that time named Minas Anor, like I mentioned earlier, which means Tower of the Sun. It served as the home of Anarion, and his name means Son of Sun. As Minas
Isildur's brother.
He was Isildur's brother, but Son of Sun as in like SON of SUN. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So, and then on the other side, Minas Ithil, which was the city on the opposite side of Osgiliath, became the dwelling place of Anarion's brother Isildur, like you mentioned. You wouldn't happen to remember or know what Isildur's name means, because it's a weird one. I think it's weird.
No, I don't know.
Well, we have the sun, or the son of sun. So, do you know what the other guy would be?
Son of the Moon.
Yeah, you're pretty close. Yeah, Servant of the Moon is what Isildur's name is, which is kind of cool.
I never knew that. I knew, it's so weird how, we know so much more about Isildur than we do about Anarion, yet I knew what Anarion's name meant, and I didn't know what Isildur's name meant. So that's interesting.
Yeah, but
do you remember that? Do you remember when we got the first images from the upcoming Ring of Power series? We got the first images, and there was a guy holding a sword with an image of a sun on it. And I think we've found out that that's actually Isildur holding the sword, and that sword is going to be the sword that's broken. I know it looks completely different, but they don't have the rights to using those the same style as Peter Jackson's one. But a lot of people were saying maybe that's Anarion because he had like a sun on his breastplate and he had a sun symbol on the sword and stuff. So people were saying, oh, well, if he's the son of the sun, well, then that would make sense. So, but turned out it wasn't. It's the guy who's the servant of the moon has got all this stuff with the sun. So
well, maybe he's got some of his brother's merch or
hand-me-downs, hand-me-ups.
Exactly, hand-me-ups and hand-me-downs. So Isildur. So his name, I know we're kind of going off track here, but servant of the moon, and it kind of comes from. Well, I suppose there's other words in the lore of Tolkien like. Ithil and Ithilien. Ithilien is lands of the moon, and then I was just going to go on to say that the other, did I mention this?
Ooh.
The other city, Minas Ithil, is basically city of the moon.
Do you?
Yes, you had an ooh there.
I do, because I have a question for you, which is what is the name of the Elven or Dwarven, the Elven script that they use that is only seen by moonlight?
That's not Tengwar, no?
No, so not the name of the script, but I'm asking you this question off the top of my head. I don't even really know how to correctly ask the question or how to correctly answer it even. But basically, they say, it's the name of the light. Excuse me, it's the name of the light that illuminates the script. I'll give you a clue. It sounds a lot like those words that you were just using.
So it's obviously like Ithilden or something like that.
Yes, that's exactly
it.
Ithilden. Ithilden. Yeah, well done, Dave.
Nice.
Ithilden light. Ithilden light.
Oh, because I remember that's like how the Doors of Doran were built as well with the Ithilden light. It's all making sense. I love when this happens. It's like all these words. It's like Ithilien, Ithilden, Isildur, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's cool. Yeah. So
Genius.
Minas Ithil goes, that basically means city of the moon. So, anyways, even though both brothers' thrones were sat side by side in Osgiliath, they did have their own homes of Minas Ithil and Minas Arnor. Like they were kind of like where they resided and slept and whatever. They obviously just came to Osgiliath to do beheadings and give out law and whatever they did in the city. But yeah,
that's about it. Yeah,
the fortress of Minas Arnor was named so for 2,000 years until the Witch King and his Nazgul returned from their defeat against the Northern Realms to finally take over Minas Ithil, which again I mentioned is Tower of the Moon. I don't know, I love saying the word moon. The moon is in the correct position. So Minas Ithil's name was changed to what, Jonathan?
Did you already tell me?
No.
Oh, right, sorry. I thought it was like, were you listening? Which I wasn't.
No.
So, sorry. Minas Ithil, Tower of the Moon, was changed to, was it something bad?
Yeah, this place from...
Cirith Ungol?
No.
Minas Morgul?
Yes, well done. Minas
Okay.
Morgul. So again, for reference, if you guys have only seen the movies, you might know. You might know from the map as well. We got Minas Tirith, and then Osgiliath in the middle, and then Minas Ithil or Minas Morgul, as it's named in the Third Age. So Minas Morgul, again, looking up the meaning behind that is Tower of Dark Sorcery. I think we mentioned it before in a previous episode. And then Minas Anor changed its name to Minas Tirith, meaning Tower of the Guard, as it was now more of a stronghold against the forces of Mordor than the pleasant Sun City where everything was good and dandy. And also, I think just the fact that like the Moon City was gone, they had to like stop calling this one the Sun City because it was like, that doesn't make any sense. We just got to call it like Tower Guard. But yeah, so there you go. Also, at the time of the name change, it had been the chief city of Gondor, as Osgiliath had been crippled by the civil war known as the Kinstrife, and the kings had left Osgiliath and had taken up residence in Minas Anor for 400 years before being renamed Minas Tirith. So there you go. That's just a brief little history on...
It's mad how like you could have a city that, as you were saying, was quite an important city. Obviously, maybe it wasn't the capital at the time, but a really, really important city. And like, I don't know, Chicago, for example. And then one day they're like, right, it's not called Chicago anymore. Now it's called something completely different. You're like, oh, but I've been living there. Yeah. My father and his father and his father's father lived here. And they were all from whatever the address was. And then suddenly it's like, no, new name.
True. I mean, there's probably real instances of that. Isn't Constantinople, isn't that renamed something else now?
Sure, that's Istanbul.
That's Istanbul, yeah, that's right. So
it's good. Well done, Dave. Well done. You put me right in my place.